Have you ever found that if you obsess over striving for a perfect sound, it can sometimes stunt your progression? In this episode, I'm going to show you ways that you can shift your mindset to further improve your results. Let's get into it. Alright guys, this is Artifact. Welcome back to the Producer Mindset, and in this episode I wanted to talk about striving for perfection and ways you can really do this without sort of sacrificing your short-term results. So what I've noticed personally is that if I really strive too much for that perfect sound, I end up getting into this negative space where I think things aren't good enough and things just aren't going the perfect way according to plan. So what I've come up with is 3 main reasons why this happens and what you can do to counteract that so that you will eventually reach that perfection that you need in the long term, but in the short term still remain productive. The first main issue is when you focus too much on the overall sound quality of your song and forget about the actual fun part of making the music and creating that special vibe that makes the song really unique. Because at the end of the day, the average listener is really going to get a feeling from your music and they're not going to be critiquing it as much as you probably are. So the first mindset to avoid falling into is striving for absolute sound quality, and always keep the focus on the vibe and having fun and generally just trying to get across that feeling that you wanted in that particular track. Best way you can do this, just have things in the back of your mind that you want them to be as perfectly sounding as they can, but don't let that be the overall focus of your music production process. The second main tip is to never compare yourself or your work to someone else's, especially to someone who you admire. It's really necessary to listen to other people's music and feel inspired by it and enjoy it, but never confuse these feelings of admiration with, for example, jealousy. You actually have the decision to reframe how you see someone else or someone else's music so that it can benefit you. So rather than seeing someone else as this false idol who is perhaps a better producer, for example, you could see them as a person who is doing really great things that inspire you to be also a better producer in your own way. And you must remember that your opinion of this person is subjective just to you. Someone else may not think they are that great, and they may think you are perhaps better. So at the end of the day, see and admire people and their work for what it is, but make sure you translate this into a way that inspires you to be even better yourself. And feel free to use other people's techniques and sounds, because at the end of the day, you're always going to be expressing your own art form, no matter what someone else is doing. You will always be unique, and music is an expression of self. Whether you take influence from other people or not is beside the point. As long as you have a strong message you wish to deliver, you are able to do this in various different ways. The third and final tip is to really focus on your output of music and what happens when you're finishing a song, and never to get into that stage where you've got this unfinished project that you're stressing about and you don't know what to do with. So there's 2 main ways you can deal with a kind of song that you're not sure how to finish. One, put it in a folder to come back to later and completely forget about it and work on something else. Or 2, just get some good feedback off some good friends, finish it to the best of your ability within like a small time frame, like a week or a few days, and just get it out there and release it as a free download or whatever, and then you don't have to fall into this state where you're stressing over this one piece of material, which is going to slow you down and hold you back in the long run. Because if you're a producer, you should be making new music and improving all the time. So to get into that state where you're really stressing about one kind of piece of work is just going to disadvantage you in the long term. I hope you guys learned something from these tips. If you do, please make sure you subscribe to the channel so we can help it grow and I can improve the budget and get some better videos going for you guys. Until next Monday.